Guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. We're back in Ultraflex Durham. We're in for legs for the first session back on YouTube. This is a session that I've definitely not brought for quite some time now, so hopefully you guys can take something from it. You can see me in a lot of pain. Hopefully I don't perform too badly today. Obviously a few movements that I may do today or a few brands of variations that I have been using are going to be different. So with that being said, again, I kind of need to reset on some of these as well. So hopefully you do see some relatively impressive stuff, maybe on at least a squat variation or something. But something that I just wanted to quickly cover before I actually go into my first initial working set on this Cybex seated leg curl is it's a very light movement, right? The stack never actually came, so we've only got half of the stack, or like I think it's maybe half to 3/4 of the stack. So with that being said, because it's very light, yes, I could gym pin it, but then the more I gym pin it, the stickier it gets. So for this, I'm going to put it on how much weight we've got, which is 130 pounds. I'm going to do this for my first initial set, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up from there. So instead of going straight to a top set, trying to lift as heavy as I can and then coming back to this and it feeling even lighter and me being able to do so much more, I'm going to just do a set which may or may not be absolute failure, but it's going to be anywhere between 15 and 20 reps anyway. So I'm going to do a high rep set first that ultimately would be my back off set, and then from there take it up. Whilst I take it up to a weight that's hopefully not going to be too sticky with a gym pin, I'm going to be a little bit more fatigued. So realistically speaking, I'm not going to have to worry about going extremely heavy. It should feel even better, and I shouldn't be also getting maybe 12 to 20 reps. I should hopefully be falling underneath that. And then from there, once 2 sets is complete, we'll move to extensions, and then we'll move to the first initial squat variation. But like I say, guys, I hope you do enjoy this one. If you can take something from it, even better. If you can drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, even better than that. And we'll get on with, hopefully, what's going to be a big leg session. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we'll stick a pin in and go maybe 15 kilograms over the stack. So that'll take me to maybe around 160 pounds if I'm right. And we'll hopefully fall between that 10 and 15 marker.
Funny story that's actually not that funny whatsoever. Somehow the mics have picked up absolutely zero here, and there is no audio whatsoever for my top set of my leg curls, which is definitely not the most ideal thing on the planet. However, we're going to have to roll with it. As you'll see here, the plate must have progressively been fallen off the gym pin, because after only a few reps in, it was actually feeling good, and then out of nowhere I got the biggest shock of my life because the plate fell off and I thought I was stronger than what I was. But I just wrapped the set up there and we pretty much called it a day and just moved on to the extensions.
So after running the plate loaded prime leg extension, this one definitely feels a good chunk different. So I kind of know where I will fall, only because of where I left it at last time I was here. But I can't just use that as where I'm going to be. So I still need to make sure I'm prioritizing enough warm-ups to get there first, feel good. And then I'll do the exact same on the leg extension as what I just done on the ham curl. I'll do a relatively higher rep set first, and then we'll move into a lower rep set. And then if it's free, only because I used it last week in destination, I think I'm feeling some hacks today. Hey! Fuck. Nobody can tell me any different. What you listen to dictates how you perform. Every day of the week. Every single day of the week. I usually wouldn't break up them last 2 reps, just because where I've got my training to now, I try not to break too much of it up, but I just I felt as if I needed to take like a second longer in that 8th rep to be able to go again and still feel really good. So taking 10 at 6 and a 2.5, I done 6 for 10 quite a while ago now, definitely way before destination. So to come back after last week doing 5.5 for 15 in destination on a different Cybex hack, trust me, they feel fucking different. No matter where you use a Gen 1 Cybex hack, they're always going to feel different. That is definitely a good set to take. I'm very happy with that one. I've now set the tone. I've set that barrier. So we've definitely got to take more than 7 and a 5, so that's 7 plates aside and a 5, which my best is like 5 reps, but that was in wraps, that wasn't in sleeves. So the next time I get back to that weight and more, I'm going to be in sleeves, and I've done 7 for 5 in sleeves, so that also kind of sets the tone that this off season there is a lot more there.
And just before the video was going to get kicked right in the nuts with some copyright, I've ended that one there. So finishing on the isometric holds with the Bulgarians, absolutely savage. If you want to take your Bulgarians to a place where it hurts significantly more than holding onto some heavy dumbbells whilst doing it, add these in at the very end, because trust me, they will absolutely light and cook your lower body up more than anything. Now moving on to here, finishing on some single leg curls. Big fan of this piece. Again, time convenient as well. Pin loaded, absolutely perfect. By the end of some sessions, I do really prefer to move across to just simple pin loaded pieces because of that convenience part, especially when I am absolutely fried. I don't want to be having to then start to walk about with more plates and things like that and start keeping on loading them up. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean I'm not doing that. It just means that if I'm using a specific piece and there is a variation that I like that is pin loaded, I will absolutely use it. So we obviously moved on here. I'd done 2 working sets on the single leg curls as well prior to moving on to the calf raises. From here, again, 3 working sets. I looked for anywhere between 10 and 15 reps on every single set. Took it up to a plate and a 15. I actually find these extremely hard, extremely heavy as well. And to be honest, calves is just not something that I try and absolutely full send like I would a big press or a big pull, because I just lose that connection. However, guys, if you have any questions on this session, drop it down below. Let me know. Hopefully you can drop the video a like as well if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will catch up with you all in the next video.